What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Miguel and you're watching Nymble EDC. Today I have another review video for you on this interesting knife right here from Asher Knives, aka Asher Knives. And I gotta tell you, I've been very impressed with this knife ever since I did an unboxing about a week or so ago. I've been checking out this knife for quite some time, and I have some thoughts, some feedback to share with you in the form of an overview / review here. This knife is part of Lefty EDC's pass around, so I'm again grateful to Lefty for the opportunity. So check him out here on YouTube, Lefty EDC, aka Kevin. And that being said, there'll be affiliate links for this guy down below and any other knife you see on this video. So if you want to check out the knife in more detail, make sure to check those links down below. I'm not affiliated with Asher Knives, but I'll still link this guy down there as well so you can check it out, because there's quite a lot of value going on with this knife that we're gonna get into. Okay, I'm gonna give you a little bit of a hint here. The blade steel, all right, you ready? It is 20 CV on the blade steel, so not bad for the price. We're gonna get into that. So let's start things off the way we usually do, getting a quick size measurement here. Overall length, we have 7.5 around there, you know, maybe 7.4 if anything. If you want to be more precise, the total blade length is going to be around 3.25, and the actual cutting edge is going to be around 3.1. Or that 3.2, yeah, around there, 3.1, 3.2 on the total cutting edge. The handle, of course, let's not forget about that, is going to be around 4.25 inches. Boom. So those are your measurements right there. What is this guy rocking? We have a stone wash / tumble finish going on this thing. It is super reflective, right? I can see it's not a mirror finish or anything, but there's some reflectivity to it as well. And we have what seems to be a drop point, but it drops so low, right? It drops so low that it sort of, I would say it could possibly be a sheep's foot. You guys let me know, get the blade police out here and let's find out exactly what blade geometry this is. What I will tell you though is that the G10 on this thing, this is a G10 handle. The name on this knife is called the Asher Spiro, S-P-I-R-O, Spiro G10. All right, so this is a G10 version. A very interesting G10 though, because it's quite on the smooth side, right? Very nice and smooth, but at the same time, it still gives you a good amount of grip, right? So that's just the beauty of G10, right? You know, even on this smooth version, you get a ton of grip right there. You got the blade hole going on there for thumb deployment, and you have reverse flick. Those are your two deployment options, unless you count this as a deployment option, which most people don't. So reverse flick indeed is going to be the most satisfying one, my favorite, my go-to, and thumb deployment as a variant, and no flipper, no thumb studs on here. So those are your two deployment methods. It is a liner lock right here inside of the G10 scales. You got a liner lock going on, deep pocket carry here with the wire clip. Pretty interesting that I hadn't checked out a pocket clip here in the channel so far, this being the very first knife to rock one, and I am actually, you know, very impressed, because this thing goes in and out of the pocket like nobody's business. It is super smooth, and it gets the job done, and it's not going to tear your pants in any way, shape, or form, which is awesome. So we're going to get more into that. Let's do some quick size comparisons then up against some of the usuals here in the channel. So the PM2, of course, on top here, much bigger knife. As expected, the Para 3 might be the more comparable one, so I think it might be right on par there with the Para 3. You guys be the judge, you guys let me know, okay? Let's check out some other ones. Here is the Shark's Foot AD 20.5, okay, also very comparable, maybe slightly a little bit longer because of the blade shape. Here is the clip point, so it might be right on par with the clip point, if anything. All right, take a look at that right there. The Rat Model 1, definitely going to be a much bigger knife. And the Rat Model 2 is a little bit smaller, but again, it's going to be somewhere in that medium range, right? That's where this Asher Spiro is going to be, somewhere in that medium to smaller knife range, right? You guys be the judge there. And last but not least, here is the EMP EDC Ronin. Okay, check out the review on this guy if you haven't already. Awesome, very fidgety EDC. And then even if you want to step it up a higher level there, check out the EMP EDC Nymble XV2. Sounds like a full sentence, I know. But yeah, this thing is super fidgety, super awesome, and it's just been a blast to EDC. So check out the review on both of these. They are awesome, and you can see this guy is just a little bit smaller than both of these two. Okay, so that's your size comparison right there. I mean, why am I putting this guy away? I definitely might need that guy for the remainder of the review, right? So you have a pivot logo here, so I'm glad. See, there's not a lot of billboarding going on the blade aside from the blade steel, which is CPM 20CV. Okay, and then you do have a one-sided pivot screw there. Hex, that's probably a T8. We'll do a hardware check in a moment. Got the AK logo right here, and it does come in a nice nylon pouch with the logo there, right? Typical standard black pouch, right? Nice and furry on the inside. But aside from that, I mean, the action on this thing is super, super good. Something to be said about the ball bearings, right? So we definitely have ball bearings in here. I'm not sure if the camera is gonna be able to pick that up, but they're tuned in such a way where this knife is the right amount of drop shuttiness, right? So it's not a guillotine, but it drops with one simple, little, persuasive move. It knows what to do, right? With a little persuasive move, just like that, it knows. See, it knows exactly what to do. And the action is pretty good. The detent is tuned pretty good. Let's see. Yeah, you see it definitely holds the blade back and in place pretty well. It doesn't, no detent, lash or nothing. And as far as being deployed here, it is pretty solid, locked in place. It's not rocking or moving in any way, up and down, side to side, none of that. There is a little bit of milling going on. I can see there's some circles, some circle cutouts on both sides with that steel liner, recessed liners all throughout. So the only portion where you see the steel liners is here in the liner lock, but everywhere else is nice and tucked away. Just gives you that premium feeling. Nice back spacer here with a little bit of a design, some rectangles going on here towards the spine, towards the back, and it should be, I mean, overall this is a pretty light knife. So let's get the scale out here, and let's see. Yes, this guy's going to be at 3.4 ounces. 3.4 ounces, definitely on the light side. Right, if we compare it to something like, let's say, the Para 3, that's going to be 3.3. So right on there with something like the G10 Para 3. Okay, so something to keep in mind there as far as weight. Definitely that G10. The milling helps quite a bit. This blade geometry, this thing is a laser beam. Like, check out how slim this blade stock is. Get a measurement out here, shall we? Let's zero out. Okay, there we go. And let's see, we're looking at a total of, all right, let's see here, 10 or 0.10 inches. That is your stock thickness. This thing is going to be super, super slim. All right, check out how thin that blade is. As far as the handle goes, getting a read here about halfway, it is 0.45 or about half an inch. All right, that's not bad. Also very slim in the handle as well. You have a flat grind going on, so that's pretty interesting. It is a flat grind up until this line right there, so you know this thing will cut. And yeah, that flat grind is going to put in work. You have a little bit of access here to the sharpening choil. You could definitely get enough sharpens out of this guy, it seems. They push that plunge grind back quite a bit, and you should be able to get some good sharpens without a smile for a while. You see what I did there? Sharpens without a smile for a while. See, I'm doing poetic lines like that these days. Anyways, what else do we have going on with here? What haven't we done yet? Let's do the hardware check, of course. This guy seems to be TA all around. These are my tools. They are linked down below in the description. Very recommendable, part of the Spiro tool set. And yeah, this guy seems to be rocking big hardware all throughout. Seems like TA in the scales, all right. It's a TA in the pocket clip. That is the only part where it's not. That seems to be a T6, or is it any smaller? Yeah, no, T6 in the clip. All right, and I get it, sort of, not quite. All right, so TA all around pretty much. All right, the only place where you don't have a TA is going to be in the pocket clip. Now, you guys tell me if this makes sense, right? This screw right here is much bigger than this one, but somehow the actual hex pattern is smaller. I don't know why. Why did they choose to do that? I don't know, but it would have been nice if this one was a T8 as well. It is a T6 instead. That's the only T6 screw on this knife. Everything else is T8. But again, that is more preference than anything. They have a little bar going on or pin going on in the back. A lot more companies are going towards this design, right? If you check out the Ronin, you know, got the little pin right here. This is the most flush, clean design you can have for lanyard people who still do lanyards on their knives. And I know there's about 6 or 7 of you out there, so you still got that on this knife. And it's not like an actual hole on the actual face of the knife right there, so it looks a little bit more aesthetic, pleasing, it being done this way. And aside from that, the blade is pretty aligned. Look at that blade, it is spot on right there, right? And blade stock thickness, because I don't think we've done that, it is going to be a little bit about the same as the PM2 or Para 3. It's probably going to be a little bit thicker than the Demko. There it is, it certainly is. And let's say something like the Rap Model 2 is definitely going to be just a little bit thicker than the Rap Model 2, but certainly not more than the Rap Model 1. The Rap Model 1, of course, is a thicker boy all around. So there's that. Length and height in the pocket, so it's going to look something like this. That pocket clip certainly pushes it to one side, doesn't stay put like that. So we're going to go in reverse order. Rap Model 2, Rap Model 1. All right, it's going to be more comparable to the Rap Model 2 in length, but more comparable to the Rap Model 1 in height. You guys be the judge there. Let's get the Demko brothers out here. Of course, these bad boys are going to be about the same length, overall length, but these are going to be taller because of the blade sticking out, right? Both of these are rocking a blade opening or hole in it. So, but again, the AD 20.5s are a little bit taller. And let's not mention the Spyderco boys, PM2 Para 3. They, of course, are going to be, you know, quite taller. It compares a lot more to the Para 3 than it does the PM2. But the Para 3, of course, because of the Spidey hole there, is going to be a little taller, right? So there you have it. I think we about cover everything. So what are my thoughts on this guy? What has the experience been like? I gotta tell you, so this knife, again, was sent to me as part of Lefty EDC's knife pass around group, and I've been EDCing it along with a couple of other knives too around the same time. And you know, the design is not anything strikingly unique or different or out of this world, but I feel like it works. Like it simply just works. It doesn't have a finger choil. I would have wanted that, but again, that's more of a personal preference these days. Feels like just about every other knife has a finger choil, so this one doesn't. That's more so your choosing or your style, if anything. I would have preferred one. A little bit of jimping here. I guess I got spoiled with the EMP EDC knives having so much jimping going on their blades. Like that's just so functional and so useful. This guy has a little bit of it going on here, right? Nothing else more further down, which would have been nice to have. But again, I'm nitpicking for the most part because the action, boom, it is rock solid. It is really, really good, very reliable. You do have 2 deployment options and 2 deployment options only. Some deployment, as I mentioned earlier, reverse flick, and I don't know if you want to count whatever this is, but probably not. But those 2 deployment options are spot on. It is nice and locked in place. You can see the liner, right? Definitely locks the blade in a good spot. You have good access to the liner lock from this side, so that's not an issue at all. And it's very smooth, right? Those ball bearings, right, make it very, very smooth, very good action all throughout. You can do this all day with your eyes closed. And this thing cuts. This thing is a laser beam. So not that it's going to prove anything, all right, but we'll do a quick paper cutting test here. Boom. Bam. All right, you have to make sure that that first cut goes through. Otherwise, you know, you might have an issue with it later on. But if it goes through, you are good. So yes, I think this guy will need a little bit of strapping, right? If you catch it well, it won't cut, but there's an area where it might need, you know, it might catch, right? As you can see, it makes some clean cuts sometimes, but then it catches on other places. Are there any nicks on this blade? Let me see. Well, I don't think so. It just needs probably a good strap, and it should be good to go. It has been used and abused, I'm sure, right, by the other YouTube reviewers, so that could be why. Okay, so you guys be the judge there. Can it do cardboard? Let's find out. Okay, flavor of the week. We got the Minnie Mouse pull-ups here, and let's do the cuts here. So always cut not perpendicular, but at an angle like that, and you should be good to go. And let's see how we do. I am struggling a little bit with this guy. It only cut about right there. Oh, that was better. Okay, so here's the issue I'm running into. So I am sinking this portion right here where the edge ends into the cardboard. That's no good. So if I watch for that, then I think it's gonna be a clean cut all throughout. All right, let's do that again. See, there it is. See, there we go. Boom. Bam. Bam. Well, there you have it, guys. You be the judge right there. Did it struggle a bit? I think it definitely did. But again, this knife has been used and abused. It's not like it's fresh out of the box and ready to cut. It has definitely seen some use. So got a nice Easter egg for this video. I'm not sure if you guys caught on to the fact that the NAS logo was upside down this whole time. I was doing a quick setup there, and I'm not sure if you guys caught that. So there it is. So closing thoughts about this knife. So ergonomically, right, as far as the blade design, steel materials here, G10 20 CV. The price for this knife is around $87.50 to about $115, depending on what combination you get. So that is something to consider there. So close to around the $100 ballpark. Again, the action on this guy, it is super smooth to deploy, right? It is very replicatable, right? No issues there with that. As far as the cutting performance, so it is just like any knife, you know, if it loses its edge over time, you know, give it a nice strut, maybe redefine the edge if needed. And I feel like that's what this guy needs, but that's not a reflection of it being a poor cutter or anything like that. One thing I noticed is that you can turn the pivot here with your hands. I'm not sure why. I was trying to fix the logo there, making it straight, and I realized I can do that with my hands. So maybe that's something that free spinning pivot, right? Not a big issue there. So if the AK ever goes to one side or the other, you'll be able to fix that yourself without any tools. Okay, but yeah, other than that, I mean, it feels like a really good knife. This one here feels like a really good knife. Again, very, very slim right here. This thing is going to slice. You saw I did pretty well with that cardboard. As long as you don't sink the end of the edge, right? If you don't sink the end of the edge here into the material you're cutting, you will be fine. Typically with a forward choke or a finger choke, you have a little bit more control over that. But because, you know, holding it back here is your only option, you typically tend to sink that into the material, as you saw me do with the cardboard a second ago. But yeah, other than that, this is a pretty good knife. I'm happy I got an opportunity to check it out. The action again is super smooth, super slicey, very lightweight, very good. You know, the paper clip looking pocket clip is deep carry as well, so that's very nice. Is it reversible? Yes, it is. So they have lefties in mind as well, so that's a plus. And you can see here, I'm not very left-handed trained, but I can do the reverse flick just fine. And can I do thumb deployment? I don't know, that wasn't the best thumb deployment, but you saw me do it. There it is. All right, so yeah, ambidextrous friendly knife with an ambidextrous friendly pocket clip. That is a plus in the book. So there you guys have it. Check it out. Again, around $100 ballpark, $80, $90-ish to $110-ish, average of $100. Check those links down below if you're interested on learning more. Again, I'm not affiliated with Asher knives, but you know, this one came in as part of a bunch of knives that I've been reviewing so far. So check out the review on the EMP EDC Nymble X V2 right there. Check out the review on the Ronin, EMP EDC Ronin. This guy here as well, I just reviewed, is the Barley from Devo Knives and Urban EDC, a very nice premium slip joint right there. So check out the content, guys. If you like this type of content on a daily basis, please smash that like button and subscribe below, because I definitely have more coming your way. If you want to support the channel a step further, there's a link for Patreon down below, right? And you can support the channel for as little as $1 a month. If I missed anything, guys, let me know in the comments. Let's hang out down there. Ask me any questions that you have about this knife or any future video ideas that you would like to see in the channel. As always, if you made it to the end, you guys are the real MVPs. Love you guys. Take care, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.